everybody, welcome back to the channel. So today I am very happy. It is because of this beautiful makeup that I have created. This is the look that I have created for you today. And, without talking too much, let's get into the video. I have prepped my face very nicely. I have used a toner, an under eye cream, a lip balm and a moisturizing cream. So let's get started with the actual makeup. So my right side, which is going to be your left side, is going to be the Highend, and the left side of mine, which is going to be your right side, is going to be my Drugstore. My Drugstore side, you will see I'll be using this purple sponge. This is a beauty blender by Roumeir, and for my Highend side, I'm going to use this beauty blender. This is by Sigma. So for my Highend side, I'm going to do my eyebrows, and I'll be using this one. This is the Goof by Benefit. I'm going to use my Etude House eyebrow pencil on my Drugstore side. Highend, I'm going to use the concealer by Huda Beauty. This is in the shade Graham Cracker. Use the Sigma sponge and dab the concealer all over my eyelid. Drugstore side, I'm going to use the LA Girl Pro Concealer. This is in the shade Medium Beige. Sponge by Roumeir, and blend and conceal my eyelid. And this is by Tilbury. So I'm going to use this one to set my eyelid. Coming to the eyeshadow palettes, for the Highend side, I'm going to use the palette by Huda Beauty. This is the Rose Gold Remastered palette. And for the Drugstore side, I'm going to use the Makeup Revolution London palette. This is the Reloaded Newtrals too. So these are not very similar or anything like that, but just that I want to match the colors, so we'll definitely try and match the colors and work. So I will show you one by one what I'm going to do with my eyes so that I make them look similar to each other. Starting with the transition shade, I'm going to use this shade from here. This is by the name Demore. So I'm going to use this shade for my transition. To be very similar to the Highend one, I'm going to use this shade from here for my Drugstore side. Next shade would be this brown shade over here. This is named as Cocoa. So this is the shade which I'm going to use second for my Highend. For the Drugstore, I'm going to use this shade. So these shades looks very similar. This is the Cocoa from Huda Beauty, and this is the other shade from Revolution London. I'm going to use this Stilla glitter on my Highend side, and I'm going to use the Swiss Beauty one on my Drugstore side. So I'll show you the comparison first. Looks very different. This is by Swiss Beauty in the shade 01, and this is by Stilla. This is in the shade Follow the Sun. It looks very different in the bottle, but if you swatch them, they are very similar to each other. Use the Stilla one on my Highend side first. Time to use the Swiss Beauty one on my Drugstore eye side. a little bit of a mascara. For high-end, I'm going to use this one by MAC. For my drugstore side, I'm going to use the one by my eye makeup is all done. It looks very similar to each other, so I'm going to come back with my lashes on. My lashes are on. Now let's get started with the base, which I'm going to use for my high-end side is this by Benefit. This is the Porefessional, and for my drugstore side I'm going to use this one by Colorbar. Now comes the best part, and that is that I'm going to use a foundation. So I'm going to use the one of the best high-end foundation that I have heard. मैंने बहुत सुना है कि this is world's best foundation. So this is the foundation by Nars which I'm going to use, and all the details about the name and the shade name will be in the description box. And for my drugstore side, I'm going to use one of the famous and the most favorite of everybody. So this is also very famous, and it is known to be one of the best foundations that we have from the drugstore. So that is, obviously you guessed it right, this is the one by Maybelline Fitme. So if you see, I got this because these are almost similar shades. If you can see, the shades are very similar to each other. So Nars is going to be on my high-end side, and Maybelline Fitme is going to be on my drugstore side. My base, so I'm using the same powder by Charlotte Tilbury for my high-end side. I'm using the Maybelline Fitme for my drugstore side. Now time to bronze my face. I'm going to use the Hoola by Benefit for my high-end side. For my drugstore side, I'm going to use this bronzer. This is by Sugar Cosmetics. This is the Pallet. Blush. So I'm going to use the blush from MAC. This is the MAC blush. I'm going to use this one for my high-end side. For my drugstore side, I'm going to use this blush by Makeup Revolution. It is a little light, but I'm going to build this up because it's quite pigmented. So for setting my face, I'm going to use the Smashbox primer water for the high-end side. Drugstore side, I'm going to use the one which is my favorite. I'm going to use this by PAC Cosmetics. So let's use this one. Use the highlighter next, and for the high end, I'm going to use the one by Benefit. This is the Dandelion highlighter. For the drugstore, I'm going to use the Revolution Pro Illuminator. Coming to the last step, and that is a lipstick. It was not that difficult for me to choose very similar lipsticks because I had this in stock. So for my high end, I'm going to use the one by Fenty Beauty. This is a very famous lip shade by Fenty Beauty. This is in the shade Uncuffed. So let me show you the shade first and then apply on half of my lip. So this is the shade Uncuffed. Let me use this on the high end side. This is Uncuffed, and the very similar dupe color which I found is this one by Nicka. This is the True Matte, and this is in the shade Turkish Rose. This is also a very famous shade. So let me show you. This is Uncuffed and this is Turkish Rose. If you can see, they are very similar to each other. So this is the final whole lot of similarity. So this is my final look. I am loving the look that I have created. It's looking so chic and beautiful. So yes, if you like it, do not forget to like, subscribe and share. Thank you for watching.